Why you following me down the street?
Chill the fuck out, bro. Why you
Bro,
following
chill
this
out,
man,
bro.
fucking make
Chill
money,
out,
huh?
chill out.
Why you following this man?
Chill out, bro. You need to calm down, bro.
So I saw a video today that perfectly slams into a topic I've been yelling about for years: tipping. I know, the moment I say that word, half of you just locked in like you're about to defend your PhD thesis in the comments. Here's the situation. Some guys go to a restaurant, they eat, they pay, they leave. End of story, right?
Hey, bro, what are you on, bro? What are you on? I paid for my food. I paid for my food. What are you talking? Why are you following me down the fucking street? Nigga, you need to get the fuck back. You need to get back. Why are you following me? Why are you following me?
What do you think?
Why are you following me? What are you gonna do? Call 911. Call 911. If you need to settle something, you know who to call?
Wrong. The restaurant owner notices they didn't leave a tip and decides this is now a side quest. He starts following them down the street like an NPC from Oblivion that you accidentally made hostile, just glued to them. No sprint button, no shame, just pure dedication. He's yelling, insulting them, borderline threatening them, all because they didn't tip. And the guys are like, dude, what are you doing? I paid for my food. Why are you tailing me like I stole your family heirloom? And here's the important part. They didn't do anything illegal. Tipping is not mandatory. It's not a crime. You don't get a wanted level for it.
Bro, I'm not trying to fuck with you.
You piece of shit.
Bro, I'm not trying to
goddamn
fuck with you.
fucking yelling at me.
I'm not trying to fuck with you, bro.
You shut your goddamn
I'm not trying to
fucking
fuck
mouth,
with you.
man.
Why are you following me down the street?
You piece of shit, little piece
Bro,
of shit, man.
I paid
I'll
for my
smack
food.
the shit out of
Bro,
you,
I paid for
punk
my
ass,
food.
man.
I paid for my food, bro.
Piece of shit.
I paid for my food.
How the fuck do you think
Bro,
they make money?
I paid
piece
for my
of shit,
food.
huh?
I
How
paid
am I
for my
fucking
food.
staff supposed to make
Bro,
fucking
I
money,
paid-
huh?
So raise your price,
Huh?
So the guy filming tells him, all right, if you think we did something wrong, call the cops. And obviously the owner doesn't, because the police would show up, hear the story, and immediately ask him why he's following customers like a raccoon guarding a trash can. This goes on forever. I swear this man followed them long enough to qualify for a marathon medal. It felt like a Game of Thrones travel montage, where they just keep walking and arguing for an entire season. And then the owner drops the line that absolutely nuked my brain. How are my employees supposed to make money?
Why are you following me down the
Chill
street?
the fuck out, bro. Why you
Bro,
following
chill
this
out,
man,
bro.
fucking make
Chill
money,
out,
huh?
chill out.
Why you following this man?
Chill out, bro. You need to calm down, bro.
You
Why
fucking
you
raise your
following me down
goddamn
the
voice
street,
at me, huh?
Bro, you
Huh?
need to get back.
You
You trying to
wanna
back me
fucking
into a
apologize?
corner. You trying to back me into a
Huh?
corner, bro.
What is wrong with you, bro?
What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? And now you mad because I won't tip you and you follow me down
How
the
am I
street?
supposed to fucking make money?
Okay, so raise your prices,
They
dude.
don't
That's
get
not
money
my
like that,
problem.
you fucking
I know
shit. They
you
just
mad.
don't
I know.
work like
So
that.
don't serve me, bro.
Restaurants are the worst case because workers depend on tips just to survive. And that's awful. That burden should never be on the customer. Now look, I tip generously because I can. I've even tipped at a self-serve frozen yogurt place where I interacted with no human beings. I made my own yogurt and still felt emotionally bullied by the screen. But not everyone can do that, and no one should be expected to. Businesses should pay livable wages. Tips should be optional, not a hostage negotiation. And chasing customers down the street while wearing your restaurant's logo like a superhero costume, that's just speed running bankruptcy. Now, here's where things get even messier. People always say, well, restaurants should just pay their workers a livable wage and remove tipping entirely. And yeah, in a perfect, magical unicorn world where money grows on trees and customers can do basic math, that would work great. But in reality, a restaurant that actually bakes those wages into the menu prices usually gets cooked alive. Even if you're paying the exact same amount, people don't see it that way. They'll look at Restaurant A with a $15 burger plus a tip and Restaurant B with a $17 burger and go, whoa, $17? That's robbery, while completely ignoring the tip they're about to leave anyway. People don't think, they feel, and their feelings tell them the cheaper-looking option is better, even when it's literally the same price. This is why the dream scenario people want, no tipping, same prices, almost never works. When tipping goes away, restaurants have to pay more out of pocket, which means higher menu prices. Even if it balances out, it looks worse. So now we're stuck in this stupid stalemate where tipping culture is completely feral and service workers are getting absolutely shafted. Brother, you are the owner. That is literally your job. Pay them. That's it. That's the whole mystery. You don't need to be a NASA engineer or Katy Perry in a spacesuit to figure this one out. Tipping exists so businesses can pay workers less than a livable wage and shift the responsibility onto customers. In most U.S. states, servers are paid sub-minimum wage with the expectation that tips magically fix everything. And tipping has gotten completely out of control. You've all seen it. Self-checkout kiosks asking for tips. Who am I tipping? The machine? Skynet? The ghost in the touchscreen?
Telling us he followed a regular into the street, intending to tell him never to come back after leaving without tipping again.
Have you watched the video?
Yes.
And when you watched it, what did you see there?
Ashamed. I was just ashamed, bringing shame to my wife as a husband, as an owner, at the same time, to my mom and dad.
What makes it worse is that more people are choosing not to tip as a form of protest. And I don't think most of them are doing it out of malice. I genuinely think they believe they're sticking it to the system. But they're not hurting the system. They're hurting the worker. The restaurant owner doesn't feel it. The employee does. Most restaurants would rather fist fight the concept of fair wages than actually raise pay. There are loopholes, shady accounting tricks, tip pooling nonsense. The whole thing is a swamp. And yeah, I'm barely scratching the surface here. Once you get into pooled tips, management dipping into tips, or employees mysteriously always hitting minimum wage on paper, it becomes a full-blown circus. Anyway, back to the video.
Bro, you about to blow up on social media, bro.
When asked why he didn't tip, the customer told people online, "Oh, I just didn't want to." Cho tells us the customer's brother has since come in, describing their conversation as productive.
I apologized to him and to his family, and I was asking if he can pass this message along to his little brother.
Adding he sent the brother home with the customer's favorite order, a handwritten apology and an offer.
My door's open for you, man. Come on by anytime.
The owner later did a CBS interview saying he followed the guy because he was a regular and he'd finally had enough. Supposedly, he just wanted to tell him not to come back. A calm, rational conversation that somehow turned into a public street meltdown. And honestly, he does seem ashamed, embarrassed, like someone who woke up the next day and realized, wow, I really turned into a supervillain over $5. But the internet debate exploded anyway, because tipping is radioactive, especially for people who've worked in the industry. Some people truly believe that if they stop tipping, restaurants will magically change their policies and start paying livable wages. That almost never happens. If tips don't reach minimum wage, the business is supposed to make up the difference. But in practice, there are a million ways they dodge that responsibility. So again, the worker eats the loss. Now, there's also the reality that some people genuinely can't afford to tip 15 to 20% on everything. I see this take everywhere. If you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to eat out. That might work for fine dining or Uber Eats, sure, but everything is expensive now. Fast food isn't cheap. Groceries aren't cheap. Nothing is cheap unless you're eating air and regret. Expecting everyone to always pay an extra 20% on top of already inflated prices just isn't realistic. Now, when asked why he didn't tip, the customer said, "I just didn't want to." Yeah, that's a pretty douchey answer, but again, he didn't break any rules. The owner later apologized, sent food, wrote a note, invited him back, and honestly, it does seem like genuine regret, like a guy who snapped on a horrible day and immediately realized he messed up. But that one line he yelled, "How are my employees supposed to survive without tips?" says everything. It shows how broken this system is when even the owner can't imagine paying livable wages because tipping is so normalized. That's why this whole thing is insane. It's a bad system. Most of the world doesn't use it. In some cultures, tipping is actually considered insulting. So yeah, this needs to change. Not by chasing customers down the street and not by punishing workers. Anyway, that's it. Tip or don't. But maybe stop yelling at strangers in public like a deleted GTA NPC.